Tell me your story.
I was this close to dying from a brain abscess that was misdiagnosed.
Good to know people care, though.
For a lot of people, the MRIs are clear.
You said you had a lot to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said,
I thought it was normal to have like seizures by yourself all the time.
You definitely will feel guilt a lot.
I so appreciate you putting this together.
thank you. Got something here. It says, I feel like very few people really understand what it is, because that's how I'm feeling. People getting getting the falling over twitching part, but never met anyone who wasn't related to someone with epilepsy who really understands focal seizures, the cognitive problems, the side effects of medicine, depression, etc., etc. Some of my closet friends still don't really get it. Um, the question here was, feel like very few people really understand what it is? Question mark.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, and kind of doesn't feel like it. I kind of put the facts to it. I see that not a lot of people are paying attention only because we do this, and I've met so many people who don't know stuff about themselves, including myself.
Until it happens to them, they don't pay attention to it.
Until I
My
see
my sister is starting to realize about the memory issues and that stuff I've been complaining about for years.
How old's your sister?
She is 9 years my younger.
She's
I'm
like
trying to
my
math, but my head can't math right now.
she's like 33, 34.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, you're 42, so she's around 34.
Yeah, and she just got diagnosed with the cousin, I would say, of epilepsy. She's been showing signs of it for a while.
Does that come with seizures? Because I did hear you say something like that, that something like you said
MS
your
is
cousin of
more
it.
on the physical side,
Yeah.
whereas epilepsy is more on the mental side.
Please
But yeah,
explain.
it does come with seizures too. They can.
Yeah,
Sorry, Angel.
they were checking me out for MS before they checked out or before they found the epilepsy. I mean, they did the MRIs and with the whatever contrast and said, well, no, there's no nerve sheath damage or whatever, the demyelination, probably pronouncing that wrong, but um yeah, so that's when they said, fibromyalgia. And it sounds like I recall on Tuesday, I think, I feeling horrible now, I'm forgetting his name, but there was another attendee here who had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and it's interesting. It seems to have a high comorbidity rate. So I wonder if the same is true of MS, or how many people are misdiagnosed with one or the other, or something. Maybe all three are all siblings, like you had said.
Yeah, like Angel
It,
said, that was a good way to put it. They're
it
all
was me,
siblings.
Mark, that has fibromyalgia.
Yeah. Well, no, there was another guy though.
Somebody else.
Then another one of the newer attendees, Jonathan. Was there a guy named Jonathan here on
There
Tuesday?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, John. Yeah, and it wasn't his first time. I remember. I'm.
Yeah, you had a decent conversation with Jonathan. It might have been him.
Yeah,
And
I can always claim epilepsy brain, but
Mm.
I've always been horrible at remembering names anyway. So, but yeah, I felt like I made a mental note because it was like, oh, there's three of us here in a group this small. That's significantly unlikely to be completely random. So, yeah, just a thought. But
uh,
I'm sorry to hear that you're dealing with fibromyalgia too, Jeff. That's
Or what? Yeah, since the 90s.
uh,
what is it
Actually, since
exactly?
1990. Excuse me?
What is
It's
fibromyalgia?
it's a nerve disease that affects your muscles.
Mm,
just
those-
nerve pain.
Nerve
You
pain,
know,
muscle
you just
soreness.
Is it
hurt.
something you take gabapentin for?
You,
Ga-
you could. I don't take
Gabapentin
anything
can
for it.
um
Oh, that sounds painful.
gabapentinoids or Lyrica is one of the nerve pain medications that
Yeah,
is used to treat fibromyalgia. And it's only in very high doses of Lyrica that it starts to be effective as an anti-epileptic drug. So I kind of lucked out on that uh, getting two birds stoned at the same time here with the Lyrica. My pain is much better, and it um, I don't know, helps my sleep. That Vimpat really messed up my ability to sleep, and the Lyrica has helped improve that. So
I took Lyrica for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years when I was first diagnosed. And then I was just on such high doses of opiates, I just stopped taking that.
taking all of it, or just stop taking the Lyrica and just
I
stuck
stopped
with the
taking the
opiates?
Lyrica and I was taking really high doses of Oxycontin and morphine. And I didn't really know where I was or who I was for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean that much, or that strong of a painkiller, compared to Lyrica. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd imagine there would have been no need.
No, I had many other issues besides the fibromyalgia. My whole back was disintegrating, and every other joint in my body.
Yeah, Lyrica probably wouldn't be helping with that though, would it?
No, that's why I stopped taking it. I wasn't
Yeah,
doing
just
anything.
completely moot at that point with
Yeah.
once you start on the opiates. Thank you, Sackler family, right?
Yep. Thank you, doctors.
Yeah.
Here, take more of these.
I got
That's
something
why I
here,
look
guys.
for DOs.
Come again?
I look for when I look for doctors, new doctors. I look for their like you got DR and then you got DO. DO will look for more holistic approaches than just writing you another pill.
Right.
Was it like
Yes.
MD versus DO? Or
Yeah, a medical doctor or whatever. They're still both medical
doc
doctors. It's just
osteopathy, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
My-
the DO will look for more holistic approaches to solving stuff.
We got something
You
here,
know,
guys. It says CBD oil versus THC oil versus muscle gel with CBD oil. So I need some help. I'll keep it short. I have a regular focal and TC and take Keppra. My neuro doesn't want a higher dosage. I take 2,000 milligrams daily, 1,000 milligrams in the morning, 1,000 milligrams at night. I keep having absent seizures because stress and general feeling of unease and restlessness and migraines. I'm sick of constantly relying on painkillers because it doesn't ease the pain or restlessness. So I did some digging and I'm asking for your suggestions. My problem is smoking and vaping and weed is out of the question. It gives me TCs. THC oil is pretty expensive, but I'm scared I might also have TCs. CBD oil seems reasonable, though. It says not to use with epilepsy medication. Massage, massage, muscle gel with CBD oil seems safe, lower dosage, doesn't get inhaled or consumed through the stomach, but will be enough to ease pain. But will it be enough to ease pain and provide some relaxation? My doctor is anti everything. Help me out. Someone who really has the experience.
Well,
Uh,
doctor being anti-oils might.
if you're looking for something that's out of body, there's there's a simple solution. There's Epsom salt. It works.
yep.
Yeah, and magnesium gel rubbing on sore muscles. It works
Um,
a lot like Epsom salt soak in a bathtub, but without the risk of the bathtub for those of us who are extremely TC prone. Um, or I don't have a bathtub here in this, just a shower. So,
yeah.
yeah, just rub it in anywhere that's sore, and it does a pretty good job of relieving the muscle soreness and tension there. Um,
Yeah, I say that personally for me, um, Epsom salt, it has worked, and I have a whole lot of it. So I'm going to use this stuff until we run out. Got to get rid of it, you know?
Good for
Um,
plants. It's really good for plants. If you
uh,
sprinkle Epsom salt around the base of plants, it provides some magnesium, which is critical for plants to produce the chlorophyll molecule, which they need for photosynthesis. So, adding more magnesium to the plants can help them to start metabolizing things faster and make better use of the nutrients, the nitrogen that you are, making available in whatever other fertilizer you've got going on, or whatever happens to be in the ground where you've planted it. But sprinkling some Epsom salt around the base of your plants is um, a good fertilizing technique every now and then.
You were talking about Epsom salt baths?
Yes, yeah, just don't use any of the scented version. Just
No,
just
no, I
unscented
was,
Epsom salt.
yeah, I was talking about, I used to go to a place out here that they fill up these square tubs or bigger tubs with a, a whole bunch of Epsom salt and water, and you just float.
And it's the greatest thing in the world for your muscles. You're
Mm.
completely weightless.
It really is, especially when all your muscles are aching and everything.
Yeah. It's just a great feeling. You're totally weightless.
I gotta try that. Or at least figure out where it's at.
Yeah. I used to go once or twice a week, but I lived closer to the place and I was able to drive.
That's not like the sensory deprivation tanks where it's like all
No,
blindfolded and everything, and
nope,
you're just in the dark. No.
no. It's just cold floating,
Oh.
and it's there's no sensory deprivation. You're completely aware. You're just laying there with your arms
You're
spread out and
you're
relaxing.
not doing DMT with Joe Rogan or anything?
Nope, you're not doing anything.
If you got a tub, Pookie, you can probably buy it like the natural ones, the good ones, not the
Yeah,
like Mark said, the scented ones or whatever.
yeah, but this is this kind of thing is in a really big opens, really big spot. It's not like your typical bathtub. Uh, I don't. It's like a big square,
Like a hot
almost
tub?
like a, yeah, almost like a square hot tub, a little bigger. Actually, like a rectangular hot tub. No, square. I guess square, but they're pretty big. I mean,
Quadrilateral?
if you're 5'9" or 6 foot, you can fit in with plenty of room. Pookie, you're 6'2". That's plenty. That's
I thought he said he was 7 foot.
7 foot with a hook shot. He wouldn't be sitting here.
I thought he said he was the size of Shaq.
Who said that? I got something. It says, questions about neurologists. Hey, everyone. I have had epilepsy since my junior year in high school, and now I am 29. I'm located in Massachusetts. I have some questions. I've been with my pediatric neurologist since being diagnosed. She wants me to go out in adult neurologists. Does anyone have any doctors they like? I am located in Massachusetts. Can anyone give me some tips about how it is changing doctors? I'm nervous that I won't remember my beginning years of being diagnosed and will struggle telling them my whole story. How do I go about changing neurologists? Um, okay, I'm in this process right now.
Won't the old one? Won't her old one recommend the new one and transfer the records?
There was nothing that said that, but that
I
doesn't mean
understand, but I mean, you think the child neurologist is just going to ship her off?
I've been through this, so I've been through a child hospital going through to an adult, and they will give the parent all the medical records, a copy of all the medical records anyway. That's why I have all my children, uh my teen years of medical records. And as for going to a new doctor, you can just simply I don't know about your situation, Pookie, because he's retired, but you can just simply say, all right, I'm going to a new doctor, boom. All my other stuff is from this doctor, and they'll transfer all the records, and you just got to give them the information for the other doctor.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy process.
When I needed to switch, like I was doing, I talked to my primary, and they refer me to somebody. And like the guy I got referred to that I'm referred to now, he's retiring next year at the end of next year. So he's like, I don't want to take you on full time, but I can be on your case. I'm more like, nah, I'm gonna pass because why get started if you're not gonna be there all this time? I should be looking for someone else who's gonna pay attention from now to here on out and not be gone in the next few would be nice. Find a new neurologist, maybe somebody young, somebody gonna be here around here for the next 10 years at least. That'd be nice. I mean, not all that will be possible, but I'm looking for a new neurologist that'll be around for some time. Because to keep changing and keep changing, it's tiring.
Is it? Yeah. I just had to change cardiologists. It's it's it is
It
what
it
it is.
is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is. And the problem you get now with like neurologists is that the younger ones aren't as great as the older ones.
yeah. Older ones, they know the old medicine.
The older ones have more experience, but the younger ones are uh, educated on more recent material. You know, the stuff they learned in med school was still experimental when the older docs were just, graduating and getting their degrees. So um, there's value at both ends. Um,
More so that the younger end just seems to like want to hurry. There's like the not care in the world for the patient, and they want to hurry and write you a prescription without actually like, hey, let's actually get down to it.
Dad, can I have these?
yeah.
Gonna go through a few of these comments, being that there isn't that many. The first one says, since you've been with one doctor, would it be possible to get treatment history from them or have them send it over to your new neurologist once you find one? See the comment to that. They said, that's so true. I didn't even think of that. See, that's why we're here. Another one here says, can't your current neurologist refer you to a new doctor? Their response is to yes, but I'd love to hear your experiences with doctors and things like that. The last response says, my adult son's treatment dramatically improved when we went to an epileptologist at a level 4 epilepsy center. Mark,
Yeah,
do you?
I lucked out getting referred to a level 4 epilepsy center like straight off. So, yeah, I, I would agree with that. I haven't found anything that they haven't been able to provide, I mean, almost immediately. Like they said, Uh, we think you need to do a 5-day EMU stay, and they were trying to schedule me for, the next week, having me come in 4 or 5 days from then. So, the availability of the services that they have there and the breadth of the services that they have all within their own individual practice. Like they didn't have to send you to a hospital for it. It was their own, technically considered outpatient by the insurance companies. So, um, um, yeah, I concur with searching for a level 4 clinic.
Definitely agree with an epilepsy center versus other places, a private practice or something.
I go to a good epilepsy place, Stanford Hospital. Shout out to Stanford. Shout out to Nature's Made. Anyway, I do have another post here. It says, I feel that I'm going crazy. Me too. I had my second seizure, both tonic-clonic 2 weeks ago. My previous seizure was in September 2024. Nothing between us. Nothing, not taking any medication during that time was as it was thought to be an isolated one. I have been put on lamotrigine 25 milligrams and I feel awful. I can't sleep, which is the worst side effect of it all. And when I do, with the help of prescribed benzodiazepines, I wake up at 5 a.m. and I can't go back to sleep. I have had crazy and fast mood changes and a lot of anxiety that peaks after 2 hours of taking my dose of medication in the morning. I have alerted my epilepsy team of this, and the response I got was that it was happening to me. That response I got was what was happening to me was impossible at such a low dose. I keep repeating how sensitive I am to medication. I take a quarter half the dose, and I get the same effect. Get the same effect and side effects. Other people get a full dose on literally any medication except paracetamol and ibuprofen. Yet neither my GP, the epilepsy nurses, I have not seen a neurologist yet, or the private neurologist I saw for the first time and whom I asked over email about this believe my symptoms are due to lamotrigine. Has anyone experienced these side effects at such a low dose, or am I going insane or misinterpreting things? I do not know what to believe anymore. I just can't see any other way or any other reason for these symptoms. I don't think you're going crazy. I think it's the medication. It works with us all differently, and you already said that you're very forgot the word you used for it. Basically, yeah.
Sensitive.
Say that again.
Sensitive.
There we go. So yeah, it could be the medication, and the doctors will say things that'll make you feel like everything is your fault, and that's what it sounds like. They're saying some stuff you don't understand. It does not mean they're wrong, but um, yeah, get a second opinion. Yeah, you don't got to keep taking medication that you don't want to take if you don't feel right or you don't feel like it's a good dose for you. Talk to a neurologist or a primary. And if they're not listening, you can always talk to another one. Um, don't run out of medication waiting. Um, yeah, I'm not a doctor, but I do suggest getting second opinions all the time. There is a comment here. It says, doctors telling you your symptoms are impossible comes free with the epilepsy. Another comment here says, insomnia is a side effect of Lamictal. It was paired with clobazam and clonazepam when I was on Lamictal to help with sleep. Now I'm on Lamictal 100 milligrams, and as clobazam is being weaned off, I'm replacing it with an evening walk and chamomile tea before bed. It is not as good as benzos, but it helps. A few more comments here. One says they're just side effects of the medication you're taking. Mostly every person who eats pills for epilepsy gets side effects. You need to tell your doctor in description so he will just adjust your pills or change your pills. Get yourself checked on time, otherwise problem increases. Take care. Don't worry about the release side effects of these medications. Try to drink more water. Anyways, talk to your doc ASAP. And with epilepsy, always keep a check on your body and what's happening. And what's happening, a lot of things come up because of its medication. That is a really low dose because I'm on 200 milligrams and they told me that was a lot. And this person was on 25 and they said that was a lot. I don't know how low doses Lamictal goes, but yeah, this person thinks they're going crazy, you guys. One more comment, I'll move on. It says, while on 25 milligrams did seem low, not all drugs work the same for everyone, and this might be one of those for you. Although if you still in first few weeks of starting it, I could see them wanting to wait beyond 2 to 3 week mark. Usually when my side effect would reduce after an increase in dosage after sitting at 400 milligrams daily. Does Keppra have an effect on productivity and focus? Hey everyone, I'm a 26-year-old male and I've been diagnosed with juvenile myoclonic epilepsy when I was 16. It started with blacking out for seconds and falling asleep or falling in place, along with sudden jerks of electric shocks all over my body. The neurologist prescribed me Keppra, for which I have to take 2 500 milligram pills a day for a total of 1 gram every 24 hours. It has been working fine for me, except for the one major seizure I had back in 2022 while sleeping that I almost swallowed my tongue, though. I was on meds and it never happened before or again, so I'm taking this one as a, in quote, one-off due to stress. Though high school, college, first 1.5 years of working, things are going really well, at least, and I was blessed with the success in what I was trying to achieve, although I've been noticing my memory and cognitive function decline, but it is manageable and compensated for this by working harder and considering as normal aging and having more to deal with in life. However, in the last 1.5 years, my focus and memory and cognitive ability and mood and feelings feel either happy or sad has been declining a lot, and I can't imagine to focus. I can't imagine to focus and do my job or study or for my master's properly. I've tried to finish. I've tried to fix anything related to dopamine addiction, mainly screen time, as I was thinking I'm just being lazy and just not doing enough. But I mainly exercise, eat healthy, have healthy relationship, maybe some financial stress about the future, but I'm thinking this is normal for a person in the beginning of their life. I just now can't focus at all. I'm focused only on planning life for 10 years and 10 years from now and not doing today's work. Recently, I've stumbled across posts talking about Keppra relation to mental health and ADHD and executive dysfunctions. So, do you think this might be related to Keppra, or have anyone had any similar symptoms, or does this come back to me just being lazy at this time in my life? Sorry for the long post, but I wanted to say all the details to get good advice. I would say these medications, it messes with your productivity. If you're naturally a lazy person, when you do take this medication, it's going to get worse. If you're naturally a person who just lays down and doesn't enjoy doing things, this is one for you. But if you like to have a life and do things, uh, you gotta take this medication and try to find something else that'll make you do things. Because if you just lay around, you're just gonna lay around. That's just you in general. Um, yeah, if you don't try to be any type of productive, these medications can take advantage, and they will be leading. Like, you don't do anything, I'll help you out. That's how that is. And that's a personal opinion. I feel like if I just let the medication take advantage of me being tired, then I feel like it just took full effect. And yeah,
aside from that, which you're 100% correct, he's going to play. He's busy planning for 10 years out, which is a waste of his time. Nobody knows what's going to happen 10 years out.
Yeah.
And if you have epilepsy, you certainly don't know what's going to happen 10 years out. I mean, focus on what you have to focus on and let the rest take care of itself.
Yeah, focus on the now. That it helps. Got some comments here. One said Kepler
Yep.
made me struggle with focus and concentration, worsened my mental health, and made me too drowsy to function. Thankfully, I was only in middle school and the teachers were understanding. Lamotrigine helped with some of the concentration and brain fog, but since I got diagnosed with ADHD, I'm medicated for it. It's bearable now. Another one here says it absolutely could be. Keppra is notorious for these exact side effects. Personally, I have experienced them, but thankfully not to an extreme degree. It's best to ask your neuro. You don't want to lower your quality of life just because of your meds. I would see what they have to offer and have to say about these other side effects before they worsen. Give it some time, but if it persists, definitely reach out. They have things that'll help you that aren't as bad as Keppra, but they're still similar in their medicinal balance type stuff, medication. I heard Briviac is like Keppra, and heard it isn't bad. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's supposed to be like Kepler 2.0, and I guess some people experience fewer of the psychological side effects from it, like the depressed mood and the anger swings. The problem that I had with it was not with those side effects. I happen to be one of the like extreme small percentage of people who had dramatically increased focal seizures from a therapeutic dose of Briviact. So, um, yeah, in the past and probably in the future, when I say not Briviact, don't, no to Briviact, I hate Briviact. That's what, you know, where I'm coming from. My experience was, clusters every single day until I was tapered off of it. So, um, yeah, I don't know as far as how and to what extent there are fewer like psychological side effects from it. I can't really say. So, um, it may be a great drug. That's just not for me.
says I am having a 24-hour EEG and I had a focal. I was starting to come out of it, and then a nurse walked in and startled me, and I kind of locked back in when I heard her open the door and stopped twitching as much. Has anyone ever had this happen to you before? I'm still twitchy and a little out of it afterwards, just trying to see if that is even a thing that can happen with focals. A lot of time with my focals, I will relax my body and let the twitches come, but sometimes I can fight them off, but not sure if he can get startled out of it. But I do know that I had a seizure, two seizures where things happened and I came to. One was I had a seizure. Um, I had a seizure in a car accident, and when the airbag came, it brought me back. I came to, and then I pulled over and I parked, and then I continued and had another seizure. Um, And there was another one like that when I put my arm in the fryer when I had that seizure. When I put my arm in the fryer, I looked at my arm and then I was like, oh, I burned my arm. And then I fell and I continued to have another seizure. Um, so is that similar to that? Similar to startled out of a seizure? It's kind of like pain brought me back, I guess.
I mean, can you really say that it was the pain that brought you back? Or, I mean, maybe that was just when the seizure would have ended and you're just coming back to naturally. Um, I, I don't know. I'd be hesitant to attribute anything to any of that. But now that I think about it, though, if like with the VNS that I just had put in, if the whole theory behind it is that an electrical impulse to the vagus nerve, something to go and jolt the brain regularly, can kind of stop and reset seizure activity that's either about to start or is already in progress, then maybe there's something to that. Maybe there like a sudden jolt, a sudden startle, like they got from that nurse is uh, you know, is what actually helped. I don't know. It's a really interesting question, and definitely food for thought. I'm gonna be considering that for a while now.
I like the decoration, the lights.
Yeah, thank you. Recentered and everything. Got
Yeah, it's like a screensaver.
yeah, the camera does a better job picking up the actual colors when it's closer and just the lamps, but even that is still a little bit off. There's a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more subtlety to it. I'm gonna mess around with that like over the weekend and try to figure out how I can get a nice accurate video of the different waxes and stuff. I want to start. I've got a little hot plate and everything with a little magnetic stir bar. I'm hoping to be able to come up with uh, a wax that like a wax recipe that could work to replace and refurbish or you know entirely create entirely new lava lamps out of other glassware. Um, you know, empty liquor bottle, turn it into a lava lamp. If we can figure out a little base for it, something. I don't know. Might be a cool little Etsy side hustle, something. But definitely, it's been rolling around in my mind for long enough that I've got all the supplies I need already out in the garage. I just need the motivation to do it, stop procrastinating, you know. Do you guys have issues with procrastination?
I do. I was gonna start there. Um, yeah. Uh, Sometimes I don't blame it on lazy. Sometimes I do, but I do procrastinate a lot. Sometimes it takes like really like wanting to do something to do it. And sometimes I got to tell myself, if you don't do this now, you're not going to do it. And that usually helps me get going. Um, but I will procrastinate, just like starting the podcast, you know? Sometimes I'm like, okay, I got an hour to start. And then I'm like, oh, I got 10 minutes. I can wait till 5 minutes. And then it gets 5 minutes and I lose my laptop charger and things that I should know where they are when you want to start 5 minutes early instead of having everything ready an hour early. Yeah, that's me. Procrastinate on things like that. I do have to run to the bathroom like really bad though. I'll be right back.
If gonna be like completely honest confession, I'm kind of similar with the uh the procrastinations, kind of like I mean, I'm really introverted by nature, so conversation is not something that really comes naturally to me. It's anxiety provoking and something I gotta work up to. So um, coming on and joining the podcast, even over the internet and Zoom, it's difficult for me to work up to. So I kind of that's why I'm not here right at 12. You know, I gotta put it off like Pookie's got it under control for now. You know, Pookie can handle uh hour or two, and you know it's still only like 2 p.m., 3 p.m. over there. There's I I don't know. I feel bad about that, but at the same time, I don't know.
I'm back.
Now that you know, I've got to face that. So there we go. But uh,
Hey Casey, how you doing?
Good. Hello. I didn't want to interrupt Mark's
Mm,
doppelganger.
yeah,
How are y'all doing?
great, great. Having an awesome day.
That's
Um,
good.
yeah, glad you could be here.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if y'all would like still be here. It's like 8 p.m. where I am, and I was like, let me just try."
Oh yeah, I
East
try to
Coast.
be on around 10 o'clock my time, and that would be 1 o'clock your time. So you never
Oh,
know.
We've gone even later than that in the past.
Yeah, we've went from 2 o'clock your time, and I
mm,
wasn't here. Mark was here. I heard until 2 o'clock your time.
damn.
Yeah. Um, there's another moderator. If you didn't know, Mark is one, and I'm one, and quite a bit of other
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Um,
Hi, Angel. Yeah, I think I met you all last time when I was on a Tuesday session.
oh, okay,
Yes,
good.
I think yeah. We mentioned or we discussed you're in New York.
Yep. And then
Yes.
remember I asked everyone if they're stoners, and the answer was
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Cannabis positions are universally positive here.
Good, yes, that's what I love to
That
hear.
that's what I'm working on right now.
Literally, as I have bowl in
The,
hand, I was like, I hope this is
the
okay.
grinder and the papers. I'm ready to roll it. Double double king size something.
Oh, Double King, hell
I
yeah.
gotta
Have you guys heard of
someday.
Flavor?
I gotta do like the full Trailer Park Boys style SPJ. You know what that? You guys know what that is?
I don't know
Yeah,
what SPJ is.
SPJ stands for six paper joint.
Oh shit.
wow,
Yeah, he
a lot of
rolls
papers.
them in the show, and it's like
I was gonna say it's probably like a foot long.
yeah, yeah. I think like two wide and three long or something. Um, yeah, I haven't managed that so far, but
One time,
it's awkward on these little tables. I'm used to something a little bit higher, so
a
it's
a proper rolling table.
Right, yeah. At least I got the little uh tray thing,
Oh
the
yeah.
magnetic, the official rolling tray. So
It's like
uh,
nice and long.
I'm partway there. Hmm. How have you been doing since your last podcast appearance?
Um, well, somebody had a seizure the day before Thanksgiving with my family. That was fun.
I had
Um,
one the day after Thanksgiving. That was awesome.
Really? Do you
Yeah.
think? Okay, I have a question about this. So this is the second time. So my hometown is in Jersey. So I drive back to Jersey, and this is the second time I've gone back to New Jersey and had a seizure in my childhood home. And I'm wondering if it's genuinely just like the stress of like family and just kind of like growing up in that house is what triggers me because there's like I can't think of anything else, Like it'll be like I was eating dinner with my family when it happened. And then like, as you know, 1 second you're there, and the next you're not. But it's always something like that. I'm just like I feel like I'm relaxing. I had just eaten, I was hydrated, I had enough sleep, and then she just fucking falls over. So like I'm genuinely confused because Kepra doesn't seem to be doing its job. But I
Mm,
don't know, open to thoughts.
Um,
that's, yeah.
which medication? I mean, you said Keppra, but like first, second, or third?
This is my first med. So I was diagnosed like 5 years ago, and they just have been increasing Keppra ever since. I started at 500
What are you
and
at now?
1500, I think. So triple that. Um,
How long ago were you
They do
diagnosed?
that. That's all they do with the camera.
yeah, yeah, they're just like, how about we just do more Keppra? And I'm like, cool, yeah, I love being exhausted all the time, sure.
I
Um,
was
hmm.
they put me to 4,000.
4,000? Yeah, I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't feel like a person anymore at that point, and I'm only at 1500, so
I mean, they say 4,000 because saying 4 grams sounds scarier. If they said it like that, I'd be like, "Oh, no, that's a
yeah.
lot of molecules of something that's supposed to be, you know, I don't know. At that point,
I
it's almost a, a small little.
I'm also
Like
medication
you eat,
resistant, so they
there's
were
there's
just like, let's just
dessert
keep putting it
toppings
up.
that are smaller than that dose of Keppra you're taking. A little sprinkle of powdered sugar on top of a donut weighs more than 4 grams.
Yeah, isn't that insane? Like, I mean, being a huge fucking stoner, I think of when I think of grams and like medicine or drugs, I'm just like, okay, how much like weed would this be? Like to visualize it. And when they
Yeah,
gave me my fat ass 1,000 milligram pills, so 1 gram of Keppra, and it was that fat ass pill, I was like, I don't want to be taking this. That's like a lot of medicine going in me every day. But like I have no choice. But
They
I don't
pair
know.
you up with the Lamictal.
No, actually, literally nothing else. It's
They did that. They paired me up. I
so like,
mean, it wasn't my first medication
mhm.
by far, but they paired me up with Lamictal to offset the rage basically, and
Kept
it
rage.
wasn't working.
Yeah, see, I
Yeah,
don't
and
have kept rage. So I'm so sorry.
yeah. Get rid of the Kep rage by
but
just turning you into a couch locked zombie.
Mm, that's
it's
one of my
pretty much
favorite.
all
With
they want to turn me
insomnia.
into
Mm.
with all
I'm
my
sorry.
meds. They want me on high meds.
I guess because it's like the only thing they can think of, like what we are going through. It's just like so misunderstood, but also like just from my experience, it just seems like nobody actually understands it. So it's like, let's just throw more drugs at it, which is
Are
like,
you seeing a neurologist or an epileptologist, if you
I
don't mind my
haven't
asking?
Yeah, no, not at all. So I'm very lucky. I'm in Rochester and they have a great epilepsy center. So I have an epileptologist. Um,
Okay, great.
Last time I told them about seizure activity, they just gave me the nurse practitioner though, and she was like, "Yeah,
My
we'll just include the
seizure twin
Keppra."
is in Rochester.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I have a seizure twin in Rochester. She was a former moderator here.
Oh my gosh, wait, that's so sick. Sweet
Yeah,
seizure twin. Oh my gosh.
yeah. Me and her
Yeah.
have the same type of seizures,
Yeah.
and we pretty much were going almost through the same medication, except she had complications with trying to get onto Xcopri,
Hmm.
and I actually made it up to the 200 milligrams right now. We'll see how that holds up.
Yes, I hope it does hold up. Yo, you
How's
should.
I'm
it
I'm
going
I'm
so far?
I'm medication resistant, so it should be going good. It has worked for some people for up to a year, and so
Fingers crossed, man. Good luck to you.
yeah.
You should tell me that person's handle so we can befriend each other. Because I have no epilepsy friends, you know.
I don't think she's on the
Well,
universe no
you
more,
do
but
have
her
epilepsy friends now.
it's
So
Diet what was it? Diet Pookie, you remember
dynamic,
Anne's handle?
dynamically disabled.
Yeah.
I forget people fast.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
valid. We're all on a
I
lot of
just want
medication.
to add it's actually
Oh,
because of her I found out that me and her like have the same type when I was explaining my type of seizure. Well, focal
oh, and
bilateral.
That
she
must have felt
is
so good.
an incredible like front lines of the medical cannabis legalization um, campaign, like all the way back through the um, I don't know, I think through the 90s with like I don't know if you're familiar with Charlotte's Web and the story behind that, the first CBD strain that was created for a girl with um, epilepsy, like a specific, I
Yes,
forget the type, but a specific epilepsy that responded
the
to
CBD.
the CBD, and it was before the FDA approved that synthetic CBD pills and stuff. So they made this, bred this. So she was friends with that family and knew the girl personally and was like right up there with the whole campaign. So she's yeah, she's an incredible woman.
Yeah, that kind of person and like that inspires me, honestly. I'm a big advocate for just legal destigmatize, you know, cannabis as a legit treatment that's accessible to everybody because it should be.
Mhm.
It's crazy that it's not.
My memory isn't that good as you would assume. Um, but what I do remember from you, do I remember you saying you work at a dispensary?
Yes, yes. I'm part of the marketing team for Good Life Collective. We're out in Oregon, but also Rochester and now Buffalo. Um,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
awesome.
I know somebody in Rochester, Buffalo, right? Don't we? I don't know exactly where she is, but
Is the person Angel was
I
talking
got
about?
something here, guys. Yeah, I'm all for um
It is exactly the person I was talking about, Pookie.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Don't be
I'm
sorry.
all for it for legal medication.
Yeah,
Yeah. If you're not on this side of the fence, I don't know why. But I am.
literally.
And I got something here though.
Mhm.
It says exercise and stretches to prevent injury. So basically, this is the title. I recently had a fall during a seizure, and I wound up with pain in my back, shooting down my arm for the past few days. As it improves, it seems what I might have done is punched a nerve. I think they wanted to say pinch, but that says punch a nerve. Are there any sort of exercises or daily stretches I can do to reduce the chance of injury or speed up recovery? Personally, I don't know any. Uh, but the first comment here says yoga,
Mm.
and that sounds
Yeah,
like it.
yoga or Pilates.
Mm.
Think I. It's a shame Kate isn't on here. Fitness Friday is her thing. She would probably have some good tips. Um,
Yeah, I've seen
Where's the
this.
the best I could do would just be going and Googling it and reading off the answers for them. So, pretty much useless, no better than them spending 5 minutes and Googling it themselves. Um,
Can I ask where the pinched nerve was again? Or like where they think
Um,
they pinched something?
Shooting down their arm, but it says a pain in the back as well.
Oh,
Um, think they punch a nerve, they said. But
they
yeah, like they
punched.
said, pain in the back and then shooting down their arm. So
Yeah.
Down their arm would make, like, that would be neck or shoulder.
Hmm.
It can't be anything down, so yeah,
Yeah.
they did
It's
something
gotta
up
be there.
there. Um, yeah, yeah, exactly where Casey was just
Yeah.
pointing. Yeah.
I'm pointing here because that's exactly where I fucked up my body last seizure is so my brother's a fitness maniac, and when I woke up it was right here that was hurting, the trap muscle right there. Because like I don't know if most people are like this, but I'm the kind of person where my tonic clonics, I'm like, my neck's all fucked up and I'm like pushing on this side. So, and that's what my brother told me. He was like, you're pushing so hard and you tensed up that muscle so hard that you definitely like pinch something. So that's what I'm thinking. Like my advice to this person is just those kind of muscles that you don't think about using every day, but that you actually do are your traps and shoulders and like neck muscles, like Mark was saying. So like honestly, just like the basic shit, like touching your toes sometimes, touching your toes every day is actually really good for you. Um, like also I'm not a
really,
doctor or anything. Yeah, yeah. Like it's just because so you're like you use your legs every single day, right? And that person said their back was hurting too. Back muscles are very important, and we forget about those because, you don't think about using them. But if you're touching your toes every day, that, like, or at least attempting to, that means you're stretching out your back. And if you keep your legs, like, as straight as possible, and that's usually stretching out, see, I don't know the terms, but like the back of the legs and calf muscles too. Hmm. And this is just something to do because I'm also like a florist. I process flowers every day. I lift like huge ass boxes above my head, and I'm a little person, so like I just stretch like as often as I can, touching toes and just like kind of basic stuff where you like lift up an arm and like to the sides. Um, like
hmm.
obviously Mark said like Googling it, but like anything that will stretch out traps, back, neck and arm, like that will help their arms for sure. But this is just my opinion. Restating that.
You do you do yoga?
I used to. I kind of fell like I work so much, honestly. I don't like think I would have the patience or time, but like yoga is definitely good for that kind of stuff. Like I said, you're stretching out your entire body really. Because like when we're having seizures, we're tensing up every single fucking muscle. The stuff
Yeah.
you're not thinking about. So like that's why you gotta like every day at least try and touch your toes. That's my advice to every human out there.
Yeah, someone showed us a
Yeah.
video of his seizures. Um, yeah, and it was very um, informative, I guess I can say. I learned a lot because it looked
Yeah.
like he was just stretching. Um, I don't know
And,
who, if any of you guys were here last time,
uh,
where that guy was like, uh, it's hard to explain what it looked like. Yeah, let me see if I can explain it or have a video of it.
which one? There's been several seizures on a Zoom meeting. Even you.
So, yes, there has been of me. I don't know which day he was on. I think it was Tuesday, where we were talking about a seizure, and he said he would like us to see the picture of him. I don't remember his name, um, but he said he would join again. What is going on?
Yeah, I've been
Okay.
meaning to share my big tonic clinic. Um,
Go ahead.
but it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels weird. It's, I don't know. Everybody else's are a bit further away or whatever. Mine is like close up in the face, up and down the whole body. It's like you see everything. It's informative, I guess, for people who don't know what it looks like, but it's me, my face in the midst of one of the worst experiences of my life. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how much value that would add to the conversation that's going on over on Reddit right now. But yeah, I think it's good, interesting to um, see some videos being shared. Maybe Hollywood will start getting their portrayals a bit more accurate now. Not just like
I fucking wish.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be nice. Cause yeah. I did appreciate, did y'all see the Toaster posted a video of one of their seizures? And
yes,
it like I just kept rewatching it because I've obviously never seen many of my own, but to me, I think that's exactly what mine looked like.
yeah,
Because it's like what I've been told I look like, and
yeah,
like it's like it's weird. It hurts to see because like you know how horrible the experience is, but
yeah. And
it was
it's
validating.
a friend, it's someone we
Mhm.
know and talk to, and that makes it that much harder. But yeah, uh, um, I I think I might do mine tomorrow or something or soon. It's it's similar to toasters. It's not a nanny cam footage of in the room up on the wall looking down and watching everything. It's um in the midst of the seizures, get the camera and close up. You see my face, my head, turning and go down. But that's the video that got Poofy adopted. She was being fostered with intent to adopt, and I was kind of leaning against it because she was starting fights with Kitty. But when I saw that after just the 2 weeks of having her in the house there, um, I was in the middle of that tonic-clonic seizure, and I was, violently convulsing. And she was up on this cat tree, like right next to me, facing me, eyes big, and she was howling. And, she was clued in that something was not right with me, and she did not like that. She wanted me to stop what was happening, and she was worried. And when I saw that, that after just 2 weeks, she was already bonded like that, and, knowing that she had a kind of traumatic story leading up to that, that's when I decided that she's gonna be family. So, you know, there's a bit more to it than just, you know, my face. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha.
it, it's good to hear that these videos are helping people and not just so
And we helped
it's
someone earlier
interesting.
without a video. I got something here. It says postictal depression. I never have felt a state of more profound hopelessness, depression, just full of darkness thoughts than I do after suffering a 5+ minute grand mal seizure for 132 months in a row. I live alone and have all this medical stuff that constantly stresses me out and never seems to help, and still have to work because I can't get Social Security unless I have one while hooked up to an EEG. So I still have to work to afford basic needs, and yet I can't drive or keep a job for very long because I have to lie about my health or no one will hire me. And yet the only advice I get is that I'm either in quote too negative or not mainly enough. All because no one is in my life and understands all that I'm going through. Sorry for yapping, but that's the background information in my case. Do any of y'all have any advice, supplements, yoga, foods, activities that help when you feel just so hopeless and in pain and alone after having a seizure that all you can do is think of how easy it would be to end this suffering once and for all? Again, sorry for yapping and being such a downer, as all my family and friends would say. I'm sorry you're going through that. Um, yeah, because you didn't ask for this, and I'm sorry you have to deal with people telling you you're just yapping or a downer or
I
whatever.
mean, all family and friends too, not just,
Yeah,
casual colleagues, coworkers, but the people close. That's tough. I, I mean,
I'm sorry you're going through that. Post-ictal depression is big. Um, it's a big deal, and I met a lot of people with epilepsy, and they've said the same thing that their post-ictal phase is a big deal. And a lot of people won't think that, but those 5+ minute long seizures are not nice. And
it takes
yeah,
days. In my case, if it's like 5 minutes of season, it's 3 days of recovering before I'm back to baseline, like clarity, functioning. You know,
yeah,
if 2 days of muscle soreness, like I worked out. Um,
5
yeah.
minutes for me.
6 minutes.
And I'm already going into PTSD because I went through that 6-hour one.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, Angel. I remember you telling me that story. Post-ictal depression is real, and you're not Debbie Downer. I don't want to tell you anything bad about those people who told you that, but I ignore people who say things like that about my epilepsy. And yeah, we have a lot of people who know what we're going through and still don't be as supportive as they could. My mother, she's way, way more supportive than I'd like sometimes. Like I had a seizure Friday, and she's really over the shoulder. But I haven't lived with mom in over 10 years, and back living with mom isn't fun like I thought it would be. It's so much when you got to keep telling them, I'm all right, I'm all right. I don't need help with this, I don't need help with that. Even though I know she's trying to be here to be helpful, sometimes they can get in the way. Try not to tell her that. I just tell her yes and thank you. But yeah, post-ictal depression can be a little much, especially when you got someone there over your shoulder. Trying to get her off. I'm trying to help her understand what epilepsy is without making her think she has to be right there all day. Here's another comment here. One says, I also get really terribly severe post-ictal depression episodes. My neuro calls it epileptic dysphoria, and I think she said it's caused by major chemical changes that can happen in the brain in some patients post-seizure. I'm lucky I have supportive family and a great therapist and a neuro provider who's helped me understand a lot about these episodes, even just accepting that this one is a normal response from my brain and I may need to, in quote, clear the deck schedule wise I get through it. When I get through it, has helped a lot. I try not to be alone for 24 hours after a big seizure because being around trusted family and friends helps a little. When there's these episodes that come on, they trigger really extreme thoughts about myself and my life and my outlook on things that I have to actively remind myself aren't real and will pass once I'm through with post-ictal period. When I can, I get takeout or any comfort food on hand, grab a lot of tissues, and give myself a safe place to be miserable until it passes. I've also worked with my therapist on and family on a in quote safety plan for when it gets really severe. It was the only response, and it was really long.
That's a really nice response, though. I love the encouragement of self-care. Like literally just order some really
Yeah,
crappy food and get tissues. Sometimes all you can
yeah.
do.
It said gonna be miserable alone. Get some tissues and stuff. I feel you.
Hmm.
Spend the day by myself. I got something else here. It says, how long after status epilepticus does it take for the body to recover? How long for the body to go back to its previous state, if that's even possible? The first comment I will read says, it can depend for me, sometimes 2 to 7 days. Dramamine is a must because I will have a terrible motion sickness and dizziness. You can buy this at most stores. I go to Walgreens. Please get better and rest. Resting is what makes the recovery faster. I haven't went into status epilepticus yet. In 20 years of having epilepsy, I'm very grateful that I haven't had to go through that. But for those who have, what was recovery like?
It was horrible. I don't like I said. I go into PTSD. Hey, Jay. And hold on.
Your kid is so fucking adorable, but also yes, yes.
So adorable.
Yeah, sorry, I curse too much. But yeah,
He,
like
he, he wants to read on the camera, but I know the rules, Spooky.
It's all right. Give your speech.
what Angel said. It's horrible. It's only happened to me once though. I don't think I've,
Yeah, it's horrible. It's a real horrible feeling. And each time you go into status, it varies. It can vary on the length of the seizure and everything. You're really killing your brain cells there.
yeah, they're literally dying, and you feel that when you wake up, when you finally stop. That much I remember.
Yeah, I haven't went into status yet. I hope that I don't. But from what I'm hearing, it is bad. Read some more comments. One said I had a full status epilepticus twice, and both episodes started with trips to the hospital to try and stabilize the situation. Heavy sedation for 5 days in almost a coma state, followed by another 3 weeks in hospital for recovery and rest. Did you guys have to stay in the hospital? I never heard that.
Yes, they keep you there and then charge you for it.
Oh.
I'm still mad about it, as you can tell.
More comments. One says, technically never. Every seizure we have leaves damages on our brain. Another comment says, for me, it takes at least a day. My body feels sore and incredibly weak, like a newborn fawn. Nausea and lack of appetite is common too, which is bad considering you need energy to recover properly. Two more. One says depends on the person and severity of the status episode. My 45-minute one took me 3 days. Had to take time off because of it. Last one says, I don't really remember how it felt before, but I'm feeling really good right now. Had a status epilepticus in May due to a substance abuse, and right now I'm tapering off Keppra. Haven't had any seizures, so I really hope it is an isolated event. Ultimately, I think it really depends on the person and the duration of the status epilepticus.
Everybody's body is different, and we're not doctors.
Please take medication as prescribed.
Please take your medication as prescribed.
I'm about
Right.
to go to bed.